Hey guys, welcome back to the Binch
Welcome
Buzz.
back.
This is episode 5 and we're so excited you guys are back with us. I'm Val.
I'm Tori, and today we have an extraordinary podcast for you guys listening today. Today's will include some buzzworthy topics about Tyler G, Halsey, Vanessa Hudgens, and Austin Butler drama, James Corden, and of course, The Benchler, episode 3. So, before we can get into that, though, we do have to say some disclaimers.
Yes, disclaimers coming at you right now. First disclaimer, we need to set the record straight that our opinions and our thoughts do not reflect that of Binch Buzz Media, okay? We have our own opinions, our own thoughts, and they belong to us and no one else. They don't belong to our family, our friends. They're just ours, okay? So don't take what we say as everyone who knows us and this company think the same thing, because they may not.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. We're just two girls with a mic, so.
Exactly. That's a really good podcast name too. Okay.
Two girls with a mic. That's it. That's the end.
All right. So disclaimer has been said. And now
let's begin.
Let's begin with our opinions. Okay. So The Benchler, aka The Bachelor, episode 3. Hit me with it, Tori. What you got, girl?
Okay.
What'd you think of this episode? Like overall, if you had to rate this episode between the first one, the second one, and this one, where's the rating?
Overall, this one was kind of telling. It honestly, like, what I can take away from this episode is basically that all the girls are literally out to get each other. Like,
I agree.
It's not even about Peter anymore. It's just like they don't like each other and they're living in a house together.
I completely agree. I also want to speak to the fact that, like, I don't know if you've noticed, but every episode so far, there's been 3. The last 3 episodes so far have been like, each episode is a new villain, like a new bad person in each episode, versus there just being one villain the whole season and we're just gonna like not like that girl. It's like every episode it's a new girl that like we're supposed to not like. But I don't know how I feel about that.
Is that kind of how it's always been, or you think?
No, not really. Like every season, like the Nick Viall season, it was Corinne. Corinne was the villain the whole season throughout.
That's true.
Crystal was the villain the whole season throughout for Ari. Well, like Crystal and Becca, once Crystal went home, little Becca. And then, because everyone thought she was like too immature. And then, so it's really like Colton. I mean, I guess it was like Kaylin was the villain.
There was a few for Colton.
Yeah.
I remember also Onyeka.
Also Demi for a little bit because no one liked Demi.
Yeah, Onyeka and
what's her name? Nicole.
Nicole.
Yeah, but like, you know, like now it's like each and like that was like throughout the season, and now it's like each episode there's a new person, and then like it's kind of hard to like agree with like who they decide is the villain for that episode, because like we don't know them well enough to know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's already like a set narrative. And also just I feel like they have been doing things kind of differently this season. Like it's kind of hard to differentiate like the rose ceremonies and the different dates, because for the first episode that was 3 hours long, they had 2 dates. And so it's kind of confusing, like kind of thinking like, wait, who didn't get the date? Who, what day is it? Like, what rose ceremony is this?
Yes, because like now it's like the episodes are starting off with like a rose ceremony and then going into dates, and then the dates are going back into the rose ceremony, and it's a little confusing.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, so this, the episodes, they're getting confusing, but they're still good. And the episode, of course, this episode started out with carrying on from last episode, the Champagne Gate. Kelsey and Hannah start out with them still crying about everything, about the champagne,
about the B word, right?
about the B word, bully. Apparently no one here knows that the word is fiasco and not finasco. Hannah Ann. Finasco is not a word. It is the whole champagne fiasco. Okay, let's just clear that up
I
right
feel
now.
like, okay, I watched it back and she hesitated before she said finasco. And I was like,
Because she
girl,
doesn't
girl,
know
if you
the
don't
word.
know, like, don't say it. You're on TV.
Yeah.
You're on TV. Don't take that chance.
Yeah, truly. That's like when you're like texting someone and like you're trying to like you're in a like argument with someone. You're trying to text big words and then you're like, wait, is that the right
Or
word that I'm
like,
using? So then you go look up if that's how you're if you're
yes.
using it correctly or spelling it correctly.
Yeah.
Except for she didn't get to do that.
Except there is no autocorrect on her verbal
In real
words.
life.
So
Poor thing.
yeah.
Yeah, and so they talk about the champagne fiasco and they're crying and Hannah Ann just really wants everyone to know that she is not a champagne stealer.
She's not a champagne.
As she repeated
Why would she do that? She's
30
not
times.
a champagne
Why
stealer.
would I do that? I'm not a champagne stealer. And also Kelsey doesn't even like champagne. So
What? She said that?
yeah, she's like, honestly, it's not even about the champagne. I don't even really like champagne.
Well, girl, it
Like, honey,
it
then what
literally
was
went
this
all
all
up
about?
your nose. Like you did all of that just to say you don't even like champagne. I'm sorry.
No,
but
truly.
that's kind of ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous, which, like, I'm so glad, like, it's over with, we're done with. I hope we never have to talk. Honestly, I will never look at champagne the same way ever again.
No.
Or a champagne bottle popping ever again.
But also, just that conversation kind of irritated me because obviously the girls don't like each other. And I feel like it started to drift off. And it wasn't even about, like, the issue. It was just, like, them arguing over what the definition of bullying is. And I was like,
yeah.
this is kind of stupid. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just move on. It doesn't have to be drug out like this.
No, truly. Which, like, I'm so glad, like, we're done talking about it. I hope for, like, the rest of the season. And so that was that. That was quick. That was in the beginning of the episode. Thank God. And then we see Victoria P goes on the one-on-one. Victoria P is
Yes,
the
nurse.
one with the really sad story about how
She's a
her
nurse,
mom,
right?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I think so.
But her mom was an addict and she had to take care of her sister, and then her mom like got better. Now like they have a great relationship.
Mm-hmm.
She's also the one that in the first group date she was like went in the spinny thing.
Oh, she
and
got
then
sick.
she got sick and Peter
then-
brought
and
her
then
bottled
expressed-
water.
Yeah, and expressed to Peter, no man has ever done this for me before.
Yeah, brought her water because she's never been to a restaurant where a waiter brings them water. Okay, anyways, and so she went on the one-on-one, and
What did you think of that? What do you think?
thought it-
Well, what do you think of Victoria P and Peter?
I don't know how I feel about Victoria P.
I was kind of like feeling the same way. Like I wasn't too sure, but after their date, I think I like her more. The only thing is that she seems like too like normal, if that makes sense. Like she's so ready to have a husband. She's so ready to be vulnerable. She's so ready to just accept Peter. But I feel like Peter might not be that into that, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about her. I feel like I wasn't really I just kind of didn't really like her. I don't know, I was just getting weird vibes from her. I was just getting like they were setting her up. Felt like she was getting set up like Bachelorette vibes, like they were giving her the narrative of like she's going to be the next Bachelorette type of feel.
Really?
And like yeah, and also like I just feel like the way she comes off is just really not genuine.
Really?
Yeah, like she's like no guy like has ever treated me right. Like she's kind of whiny. She whispers all the time to
Yeah.
Peter, and like it's just like I don't know how. I'm not quite sure about her. I need to see more of her, and then like the whole Leia thing on top of it. I'm just like I don't know. I'm iffy about her. I didn't like her at the
Mm.
beginning with the whole no guy's ever brought me water before, so I'm still like iffy about her. Like that one-on-one didn't really
Yeah,
change
cuz like
anything for me.
who says that?
Yeah, I don't
Like
know. It's just like really like
also she said after their date, this is their first one-on-one, right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
She said, "You've shown me the love I deserve."
Yeah, it's
And
the first one-on-one. Like that's
yeah,
why it's like weird to me. It's like
that's where I see the
yeah,
red flag.
yeah. I'm just like we need to slow it down.
Yeah, and I don't
But I will.
understand. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I thought there was like them dancing in the store a little much. There's so much dancing in this season. I just don't
Mhm.
understand it. Like, did we know that Peter was like a dancer? That he liked to dance
I
this
mean,
much from
his
Bachelorette?
intro video. Remember when they were in his house and
Well, him
they
dancing with his
were all
family.
dancing around the kitchen table to some Colombian music? And I mean, like, no shade or no hate to Colombians and Colombian music, but I feel like that was not real. Like the producers totally made
Yeah.
them do that.
No, but
I
even
think the
like okay,
producers are just really pushing that Peter is
is
like
like
a
music
dancer
into dance. I
and
don't know. Yeah,
yeah.
because I was gonna say like I don't remember any of that in the like with Hannah season when he was like pursuing Hannah, like him bust a move one time in front of Hannah. Like I'm confused. Anyways, I guess the date was okay. They go country line dancing. I personally would not be a fan of that date just because like I mean like country line dancing is fun. Don't get me wrong, but like as a first date
Mhm.
on The Bachelor when other girls get like these awesome helicopter rides and like all these
Oh.
awesome more like better dates, like I just like don't think like country line dancing would be like for me, you know? Like
Where is she from again?
the other girls got a revolve date, like I would have wanted that. Like I don't want to go country line dancing.
Oh,
I have no
yeah,
clue
and
where she's from.
Kelly rode an airplane with him across the whole
Yeah.
city.
Who else got a one?
Um,
Well, Madison got the freaking wedding vow renewal, which like I love a good wedding, but like probably not the first date. But um,
I know, but I feel like you always gotta remember, like, it's The Bachelor. They only are
yeah,
here
that's true.
for
That's
like
true.
literally 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever.
Mhm. Um, but yeah, it was alright. So she did like open up to him, tell her story, um, and she got the rose. She had a little bit of like red nose, which like was reminding me of Hannah B when Hannah B had a red nose throughout the
Oh my
whole
god, really?
season for some reason, and I just didn't get it. But yeah, and I was like, oh my god, her little nose is red, and it reminds me of Hannah B. But yeah, she got the
You
rose,
think it
and
reminded Peter of Hannah B?
I don't know. I mean, he's still in love with her, so who knows?
I mean, maybe he really does like her, and that's why.
Oof. So yeah, so that was that. It was also like honestly kind of boring. And then we get
Honestly,
to the
yeah, like those where they start to open up about their like life. Like, I know it sounds mean, but I kind of just don't pay that much attention.
yeah. I mean, honestly, like unless it's like something like, I mean, her story was really sad, but like we had already heard it in her intro for like the first episode of us finding out like what
Uh-huh.
there was about her. So like it was like
I
no new information. So it was only new to
Yeah,
Peter.
I think that's
So that
why.
was yeah. I was like okay, like
But
we already
also
know this.
Peter like seems super like um supportive and
Oh
a
yeah,
great listener.
he is such a great listener. Like he's really like built for this bachelor of hearing every girl's sad story because just like the way he receives it and the way he responds to it is honestly like pretty impressive. Like I want to tell him my sad story so he can respond in like an awesome way and I can feel supported.
Do you think Victoria is going to make it to hometowns?
I do.
Like, okay.
He likes her a lot and he was really vocal about saying like during the whole Leia thing, like, I really value your opinion, which like,
Yes, he said,
I'm
quote,
sorry,
he's
like, okay.
I trust you.
Which is weird. Okay, I don't know. We'll get into it. But okay, speaking of Alea, so group date, they do the pillow fight.
Oh.
And
Oh.
oh wait, before that. They get the knock at the door, they get the card for the group date rose, and they're showing Alea around the house. Like the editing this episode, they edited it. I can't speak. Like really against Alea from the very beginning. Like they never show clips of girls like behind the scenes, like hanging out in the kitchen. Like we never see the girls in the kitchen, like anything like that. And like they showed her, first of all, she was drunk. You could tell she was drunk that night. And they just showed her like on the kitchen counter, just like being drunk and just saying like, oh my god, like everyone just thinks like I'm a princess, blah blah blah. And all the girls are just standing there just staring at her like, what's wrong with you? But obviously she was drinking a lot. And then they get the date card and they're reading off the names, and Alea goes, I just want to know how it feels to not get a date, to the girl next to
Jessica,
her.
right? Or is her name Jessica, or is it Jennifer?
Jasmine.
Okay. Jasmine. Yeah, and Alea literally goes, baby girl, tell me, how does it feel to not get a card? Like I want to know, or not to not get a date. And then I think Lexi is like, you bitch.
Yeah. Which, like, I mean, she said it jokingly, like, you know.
I don't think she said it jokingly. I think she actually meant it, like, in a concerning way. Not to be rude, but not joking either.
Oh.
I think she was actually concerned. Because she said it like, baby girl, like, tell me. Like, how does it feel?
But she was also drunk. Like, her eyes, like, weren't even fully open. Like, they were, like, so, like, when she would blink, they were so slow. Like, you could tell she was pretty, like, buzzed. Binch buzzed. Yeah, anyway, so then the date, so that's that night. The next morning, Demi is back. She gets the girls that are on the date. They go do Pillow Fight Club, which I thought was super funny.
Hold on. I want to say something.
What's that?
So before that, we see that the date card said, what did it say? It said, hope you like surprises. What the hell was that? Like, why were these two older women going into their rooms, literally beating them up with these pillows filled with feathers? I mean, could you imagine being woken up like that?
I mean,
like,
I know.
Which, like, how were these girls not screaming, what the fuck? Like, I would be so pissed.
I was confused about who those women were. Like, are they part of like Pillow Fight Club, like an actual league? Like, are they like in the league of Pillow Fight Club?
Yeah, that was my first thought as well. I didn't understand the way they were dressed either.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like I didn't know what they were trying to go as, like.
Yeah.
Sporty.
I don't know. Yeah.
But I just could not believe that. And then, like, the producers, like, were talking to them immediately after. And Par McKenna and all the other girls, like, no makeup, super drowsy because they just woke up so abruptly. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, this totally sucks. And also the other girls that weren't even on the date. How to go through that?
God, I had to get woken up too.
Had to be woken up.
I would be so pissed if I wasn't even. First of all, I'd be pissed that I wasn't even on the date.
Yes.
Second of all, I would have been pissed that I got effing woken up for their date. I'm like, I'm going back to sleep. Like, you hoes, what is your problem?
They did not look their best, and that's me just being nice.
Even Demi was like, y'all look haggard as F.
Oh my god. Yes. Demi.
Oh yeah, so then like they do the Pillow Fight Club. I wasn't really sure why they had to be dressed in lingerie.
Lingerie, yes.
Kiara would say, honey, it is lingerie. I'm not sure who told you that the way lingerie is spelled is pronounced lingerie, but that's fine. It's fine. We're gonna work through it, honey. And honestly, when these girls don't get roses, they should get a like dictionary on the way out with the pronunciations of words. Cause finasco and lingerie are not words, you guys.
I like am gonna start calling it that.
Oh my God.
So we're just
I'm
gonna
buy you a
keep it.
dictionary.
We're just gonna. That's the new name.
Okay.
Lingerie. Yeah, everyone else is wrong. It's lingerie. So.
I mean, poor thing. Okay.
But you know what? I have something to say about that. I know
I'll
it's
give her
like,
a pass
it's like,
because if you look at the way lingerie is spelled, it has
Yeah.
a G and it looks like it would be lingerie.
yeah. I
But
mean,
like,
the only
if
thing is that she's like an adult and I don't know
national
how
television.
old she is, but those things happen when you learn the new word from reading it and not from hearing it. So, you know.
That's true. That's true.
But also,
like,
how do you go your whole life? Like,
mhm.
I don't know.
Mhm.
You know, I I don't know. It's just
yeah.
it's just kind of funny, you know.
You know, I will give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she like was thinking like maybe because like there is like lingering, like
Yeah.
lingering.
Yeah, you
And
know,
then
when you think
maybe
of the
she
word in
was-
your head and then you read it and then you're thinking of what it looks like a different word. So she
Yeah.
got linger and lingerie confused.
Yeah. I mean, it happens to the best of us. I still do not forgive Finasco. Okay.
No.
So
Moving on.
that is just unforgivable. Okay, yeah. So I didn't like that they all had to be in lingerie. That was just like not for me. I just didn't get that part either. Poor
Yeah,
Kelly.
like okay, one thing to be in lingerie, another thing to be wrestling or pillow fighting in lingerie.
Also, what's her name? Savannah was the only one that didn't get like cute lingerie. She got that ugly nightgown. That
They were
like,
calling it
looked
a
like,
muumuu, right, or something.
Yeah, that went all the way down to her ankles. Like, how do you
Honestly,
even wrestle it, that?
I literally would have went ham if that was me. I would have no worries
No, yeah, same.
about
But like,
a boob popping out or something.
that's very true. Oh yeah, and then so they do the pillow fights. Poor Kelly, the attorney, had to go against Tammy, the wrestler.
Oh my god! But
I would've been-
I literally was scared for her, but she stuck through it. I'm proud of her.
Yeah, she did.
I'm
yeah,
proud of her.
Kelly, I really like Kelly. Like Kelly is a top runner for me. I like her. She's actually. You were saying that Victoria P is just like a little too normal, and I'm not sure if she's too normal for the show, but I think Kelly is too normal. Like she is very just normal. Like she's just like whatever, like just a normal chick.
It's like I think Kelly will also go to hometowns, but
same.
not that Victoria's too normal. It's just that she's too like I don't know, like plain Jane, like
she was also in pageants.
She's so like ready for her husband. She's like basically the perfect bachelorette. And
That's why I feel like they're just like setting her up for Bachelorette. But like I don't want to see, like, no offense, another white blonde girl that just is like, I'm sorry, I need a little diversity as my Bachelorette.
I feel you, girl. I know what you mean, but I feel like when it comes down to it, Peter's gonna choose a girl that is less. I just can't figure out the word, but I feel like he'll pick someone that's more like spicy.
What do you mean, like spicy? Like has like the flair, like has like
more like
zhuzh,
yes, more flavor. Not more flavor, but like more.
Just someone with like more personality.
Yes.
Honestly, maybe that's why I don't like Victoria. I feel like she's really lacking personality for me.
Yes, and also I feel like anything Peter says, she'll be like, "Oh my god, yes, me too." And then I'm like,
even when I know we're going back to the one-on-one when she was like, are you a red wine kind of guy or a white wine? He's like, red wine. She's like, oh my god, you passed the test. Yeah. And I'm like, girl, you know, if he would have said white wine, you would have been like, oh my god, you passed the test. I love white wine too. Like, also she was drinking white wine. Like, so are you you say you're a red wine
on the date?
No, when Peter went up to her at the pool party, she was drinking white wine. I swear. Honestly, my eyes could be deceiving me. I wasn't wearing my glasses as I was watching that show.
I believe it
But I
though.
swear
That's
it was
literally
white
what
wine.
I'm talking about. I feel like she'll just say stuff like that to get Peter to be like, "Oh my god, like we're so alike. Oh my god."
Which I feel that, which is why I feel like I don't really like her, because I just feel like she just like is like a yes man type of person,
Yeah.
and like that's kind of like the vibes I'm getting from her, and I'm just like,
Maybe
I'm
that's
not
exactly
feeling
what I'm
it.
talking about. Like when it comes down to
Yeah,
it, Peter's going to want someone that is different in that way.
yeah, and it's like assertive and like like isn't gonna just
More
be
of
like
their own person, not like
yeah.
consumed by him.
Yes, for sure. Especially because he's a pilot. He's gonna be gone, so he needs someone that's gonna be able to like to stand on their
Yeah,
own.
be
And
their own woman.
yeah, which is why I think Kelly is the perfect person for him, because
She's an
she is a lawyer.
attorney. She
Like
stuck it to Tammy.
she stands her ground when everyone was like, yes. When she was like, you were cheating, she's like, okay.
Yeah, she's like, I know the law. Try me.
And, like, I know. But like truly, okay. So, anyways, so
Where are we?
Kelly the attorney, she did
Oh,
her thing
also-
against Tammy the
also-
wrestler.
That one comment Kelly said. What did she say?
Oh my gosh, she's like, no, who wants to see their lawyer in lingerie?
Oh, I know.
on
Okay.
national television.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Kelly, I would not really like to see my attorney on TV in lingerie.
Well,
On The Bachelor, kind of period. Like,
be like, I have a case. I'm in jail. Can you
can you
freaking
get
hurry?
off The Bachelor? I need a lawyer. Like, I need a lawyer present. Please tell Peter to wait.
Please. She did her thing against Tammy. Tammy's
I love
crazy.
Tammy.
Yeah, she's so funny. She was like in her element. She loved it. And then, see, this is why I was like really like confused about the narrative of like all of a sudden we don't like Alea, because all of a sudden
Yes.
Sydney doesn't like Alea. Like, where was the backstory
Where
behind
did
it? All
that
of a sudden,
come from? That's what I want to know.
yes, because all of a sudden the editing is like, the narrative towards the editing is like, okay, we don't like Alea, and then Sydney out of nowhere is like,
Yeah,
I don't
she's
like her.
I don't
And
even know how this happened.
like just literally out of nowhere, they have to go against each other in the pillow fight, and Sydney in her side interview is like, well, I have to go against the princess. Oh yeah, and then she's like, I couldn't even get up. She freaking pinned me down. It was like an elephant sitting on a
Oh.
rat, which like is such a
Wait.
rude comment. Like, I get you're pissed that you lost, but like that's effed up.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, Binch, did you just call yourself a rat?
Truly.
Yeah,
and then so Sydney won. I mean, Alea won the fight, like the whole thing, and she was just like, people like Alea just keep winning. And I'm like, people like Alea, like, bitch, you're some skinny, gorgeous girl. You're just like Alea. Like, I really don't even see a difference. Like, where's the difference?
No, yeah. Even with that whole elephant to rat thing, I was like, wait, you guys are literally the same size. You guys are literally both tiny.
Yeah. And like, that's a bitchy ass comment. And you say that Alea is like some fake girl, like one of those mean girls. And like, that's exactly like you saying that comment and like being rude to her is just exactly the same. That's why I
literally what Sydney's doing.
Yeah, which is like why I didn't really like this narrative of Alea being the bully the villain this episode. And like, I don't know. I don't agree with everyone in the house. Like, okay, anyways. And so then they go to the nighttime date, and Alea is goes talks to Peter. She has a good talk with Peter, and then Sydney goes and talks to Peter, and then she tells Peter like, there's just some people here that just like are different in front of you than they are like in the mansion and in front of the cameras. They just like put it on, and he's like, oh, okay. And then while the girls are waiting, that's when Sydney is like, so like, how long have you been in pageants? And then she's like, oh, like my whole life. And then she's like, so like, would you say like, like your personality changes, like you turn it on? And she's like, well, yeah, like I've done it my whole life. It's kind of hard to like not turn it on and off. And then she's like, so like, do you even have a job? And like, okay, Sydney, why don't you ask the other 10 girls sitting next to you if they even have jobs. Freaking McKenna, fashion blogger that dresses ugly. Like, that's not even that's not a job. Or freaking,
Or all the other 10 pageant girls that are
yes,
on The
that are
Bachelor.
on The Bachelor.
On her season.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, like you, and I don't even know what Sydney does. What does Sydney does? Does she have a real job? Apparently not, because she's on The Bachelor. So, like, Sydney,
Yeah.
you're one to talk. Like, that's why I was like, I was just so, I don't care if I'm on the wrong side of history. I was on Alea's side and not on Sydney's side and all of that. And then Peter comes out and is like, totally throws Sydney under the bus.
Oh my, that was my favorite part of the whole this is like Bachelor history. Like, literally, this was the smartest move Peter could have done, because literally all the girls do is go talk shit to The Bachelor to try to get, I mean, all the girls are biased. It's not like they can for real seriously say out of concern for him.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
You know, it's because in the end they want him to like them more.
Yes, and how can Sydney know? Like, well, I just don't think she's right for you. How do you know what's right for him and what's not? First of all, you don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know Alea. You've been in the house for her at this point, like what, a week? Like, how do you know her that well? And like, it's a house full of girls from all these different places, from all these different backgrounds, who like. Yeah, girl, like, not every girl is your cup of tea, and just because you don't like her or she's not your cup of tea or just like someone who you associate with or you could ever see yourself being friends with outside of the mansion doesn't mean she's not right for Peter. Like, who are you to say that? And if I were Peter, I would be like, who are you to tell me who's right for me and who's not? I know who's right for me, and I'm going to figure it out on my own, and I don't need you telling me that. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
Thank you. But, like, it's just so annoying. And so he calls her out in front of everyone. He's like,
I loved that he did that. I loved those, like, 10 seconds of silence of just Sydney looking like, damn, this was not what I had in mind of when I told you what I told you.
Yes. He's like, well, Sydney, you told me that someone here is apparently turning it on and off for the camera and acting different inside the mansion. So, like, who were you talking about? And it's just quiet.
Oh, my God.
And everyone is looking at her, and she's just looking at Peter. And she's like, you did this to me. She's did like, this to me.
Well, I guess, like, Alea, like, I would have respected her more if she was like, you know what, Peter, you're right. And Alea, this is how I feel.
Yeah, but she was just like...
But she was like, oh, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess, Alea, I think you're a little fake.
Yeah, and then Alea was like, well, does anybody else think that? And everyone else was quiet.
Could you imagine? I mean, I know, like...
I would, honestly, all those girls that were sitting there that went up behind Alea's back at the pool party and was, like, telling Peter shit, like...
Mm-hmm.
If I was one of those people that actually thought that Alea was, like, different in person, I would have spoke up right then and there. I'd be like, honestly, I also think that. And then that way, when I would go up to Peter at the pool party, he would have been like, well, you already said that you thought that. Tell me more about it. Instead of, like, all these random girls out of nowhere just being like, if I were Peter, I would have been like, well, why were you quiet when Alea asked at the other date? Is what he should have asked.
Yeah.
Because now, all the girls at that date, of course, like, that's some drama. They go back to the mansion. They all stay in these different rooms with these different girls that they're friends with. And they're like, dude, guess what happened at the group date? Sydney said this and called out Alea.
Mm-hmm.
And so now all the girls around the house are whispering like, oh, that Sydney said that Alea turns it on and off in front of the camera. So now all these people are hearing that Alea turns it on and off in front of the camera. So now it's telephone. Instead of saying Sydney said that Alea turns it on and off in front of the camera, it's like Alea turns it on and off in front of the camera. So now everyone's like, oh, well, she turns it on and off in front of the camera, like to freaking Peter. And so now, like, if anyone is like really like has their own opinions, like now they're like, okay, everyone's aiming for Alea, might as well join the bandwagon and aim for Alea, because at least it takes the target off of my back, Kelsey, and I don't have to go home and I get another rose and I can stay.
Yeah, also that brings up a very good point, because when Peter talked to Kelsey, I was like, girl, literally yesterday, you were the one having that whole conversation with Hannah Ann, and, like, I don't know. But also, if Alea was to ask in front of all the girls. Like, does anyone else think I'm fake? Like, in front of Peter? Like, I don't think I would myself also stick up and make myself a target in front of everyone else in that moment. So maybe that's
I
why
guess
that
that's
could be
true.
a reason. And maybe that's why Peter also decided to ask them a second time in private. Because, like, when it's a group setting like that and you're put on the spot, no one typically likes to be that center of attention in that moment.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, and so he does a full out investigation. Instead of having a cocktail party, they have a pool party. And he does a full out investigation, goes around talking to all the girls. All the girls are like, yeah, Alea just kind of. But I just want to say, like, who doesn't turn it on and off in front of the camera? If you are the same person that you are behind closed doors that you are in front of the camera, like, more power to you, because, even like even if like your voice changes a little bit, like when like you're in front of the camera, or like you see someone and you're excited, like they were like, well, her voice gets a high pitch, and then the editors have a high pitch of her saying hi to Peter. Like, even us, like on this show, like at the beginning of when we're like, hey guys, welcome back, like my voice changes, and now that I'm getting passionate about The Bachelor, I'm in my normal voice. So like I like it blows my mind how all the girls are like, well, she's different in front of them in the mansion, and then as soon as she gets on camera, she's like prim and proper. I'm like, if I was on national television in front of the camera, I would be prim and proper too, because the whole world is watching me. This show is not going to last forever. I may not win. I'm still going to need a job after this. I'm not going to be out here acting ratchet and crying on camera in front of the whole world to not give me a job afterwards. Also, my parents are going to watch this. Like, I'm not trying to act stupid in front of the whole world. So like, that's what I would have said to Peter. I'm like, honestly, like, this is hard for me. This is different for me. Like, I don't know how to be myself in front of camera, because like there's so much pressure and everyone's watching me, and that should have been what Alea should have said.
Yeah, I think she should have said that too. I think the whole problem was that things were misunderstood and
Yeah.
miscommunicated.
And also, it was a
Because
straight up witch hunt.
It was what?
A straight up witch hunt. Like, the second every girl
Oh.
heard that Alea was being thrown under the bus, they were like, okay. And then he was like, so what do you
I
think
like,
of Alea? And then they're like, oh, well,
Mhm.
she, like, and they all said the exact same thing.
Yeah, word for word, verbatim.
Word for word. So it's like, this was like a freaking, everyone was in on it, like, just to like get her out. And like,
That's a very good point, because they all did say she turned it on the camera, and you only say things like that when it's something you've heard and you haven't witnessed, because none of them said anything more, anything different, anything,
or explained or went into further detail or had an example.
and the examples they did say, it wasn't like she's being like fake. It's like, and I wrote down, it's also very true, like being in pageants for so long. She mentioned she's been in pageants for over 8 years, and knowing how to act a certain way that is expected when the cameras turn on and when you're being looked at. And so it's like a performance, like, for being the most perfect. And who's to say she's not like conditioned or just so used to seeing a camera on her and then putting her chin up, pushing her shoulders back, like in that type of way.
Yeah, and like, honestly, if I was Peter, I'd been like, damn, I do want a girl like that, because I don't want some girl just like, if we do get married and like we're gonna have to do interviews in front of the whole world about how we are engaged, like acting all crazy in front of freaking Good Morning America. I need someone who knows how to freaking act in front of a camera.
Yeah, you're totally right. You're totally
like, you
right.
know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? Like, I don't understand what's so wrong about that. And then like, honestly, and then like, okay, and then also at the freaking pool party when Sydney got the group date rose at the other one, which I thought was really interesting that she got the group date rose after she threw Alea under the bus. Like, it kind of seemed like Peter was like validating what she said by giving her a group date rose.
He's like, I appreciate you doing that and sticking up for me, or like putting herself out there to at the sake of him, for his I don't know, like putting herself out there for him, basically. But also, it's like not that hard to talk shit about someone behind their back. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know, but I just can't get over like Sydney just being like, Wait, you mean when I was talking about you in private? Like,
Yeah,
you want
I
me to?
know. And then like, okay, so she got the group date rose, and then the next day, all day at the pool party, she's walking around with the group date
I
rose.
noticed that too.
I hated that. I was like, go put it in your damn room. You're gonna freaking
It was
break it and
the
drop it, and
whole
then
next day.
like that's literally embarrassing.
For real.
Like embarrassing.
Do you think the
I was like,
producers had something to do with that, or she's literally like parading it on her own will?
no, she's like parading. I feel like she's parading it on her own because, like, I mean, like,
Because
what
it
is
was
that?
kind of ironic that she badmouthed another girl, and then
Got a group date rose.
Peter was like, okay, this I appreciate you, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I don't know, but like I just thought that was pathetic. And then like so he's going around getting all this information from all these girls. They're all saying the exact same thing, like they were freaking coerced into it. And then he goes to Victoria P and is like, I really value what you say. Like your opinion really matters to me. Blah blah blah. And so then that's when she drops the bomb about how that she thinks Alea's manipulative
well,
because
Victoria never said the word manipulative.
did
Peter
she say I was manipulated?
Peter said to Alea, some of the girls think you've been manipulative, and Victoria just said that she told her to lie about something. I don't remember her saying the word manipulative, like calling Alea that, but I could be wrong. But I just don't remember that.
I thought she had said like, well, she was like she told me to lie to the producers saying that we didn't know each other, and I just thought like she was being like manipulating on her part to just ask me to lie to you, which she was. I felt she was being so fake about it because she was like, oh, I mean, I don't want to lie to you. Like, I just don't want to be in the middle of this, but like, I just want to be honest with you and like not lie to you. And like, girl, just like, yes, you do want to lie to him. Like, yes, you do want to tell him the truth. Like, it's not that hard for you to throw another girl under the bus. Like, hello. And she's like, well, like, you know, like me and Alea were in pageants, and like she was like a little manipulating and telling me like we should lie and say we don't know each other, and I don't know why we had to lie about it, but she like I don't know.
I just
But
don't
also like
remember her saying that, because when Peter brought it up to Alea and Peter said the word manipulative or manipulating, I was like, whoa, like he's throwing that word. And then that's when Alea had that huge wave of shock on her face. But
yeah, I think
I need to
Victoria
watch it
Peep
back.
said it.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I feel like he wouldn't just say that she was being manipulative if no one else had said
I think
that.
other girls had said that, but not Victoria.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
yeah,
so and now Alea thinks that Victoria put that word on her.
Okay. So then he goes and talks to her, and he is like, why did you lie about that? And she's like, well, I just thought that like if the producers found out that we knew each other that we'd be disqualified, which I think was like really bad on her part. I think she was just scared and worried because like obviously in past seasons like Kaylin and Hannah B knew each other and they weren't disqualified, and I don't know in what season like ever of Bachelor history where they've been disqualified because they knew each other, because it honestly creates more drama and it's better television, which I think like she just didn't know what to say about that. But she should. I think why she wanted to lie about not knowing Victoria is because like she didn't want it to be drama. Like she didn't want it to be a side story of like, oh, we're two pageant girls again and we know each other just like Kaylin and Hannah, and like have it become a situation where it's like another Hannah Kaylin thing, which is what I would have told him. I would have been like, honestly, I'm here for you, and I lied about it because I didn't want it to be cause drama or to be a sideline story, because I don't need a sideline story when I'm just here for you. I would be so good on The Bachelor. Anyways, and so that's what she should have said to him, and instead she was like, well, I was just scared that we were going to be disqualified. And so
yeah, because saying like afraid of being disqualified, like that doesn't sound plausible, and
yeah,
it
and
makes
also
it
like
sound
using
fake, like she's covering up something else.
Yeah, and also using the word disqualified makes it seem like it's all just like a game.
Yeah, that also does like put a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, and so that was that. There was no cocktail party. That was the cocktail party. So then Peter leaves, and he's like, guys, like, I'm gonna leave, whatever. Or he just kind of leaves. He doesn't tell anyone that he's leaving, so all the girls are like super sad. McKenna starts effing crying because she's like, I just didn't get any time with him, and I needed that time, and it was so
Oh
important.
my
Like,
God.
McKenna, like, literally no one cares, and you're the most dramatic person of all time.
I feel bad for McKenna. I feel like she literally wants this so bad. And
Not for the right reasons, because she likes Peter. Like, because, like, she just really wants a rose is, like, what I feel.
oh, I disagree. I think she like wants this desperately bad. And any little teeny tiny ounce of doubt, she like loses it all. And you
Which
just
is, like,
see those facial
so...
expressions like so concerning.
Okay, like, yeah, she started legit crying. She was like, I just needed this time with
She's
him. I'm
like,
like,
and
you're
it's
not the
not fair
only...
because it's not me. It's not us causing Peter to do this. Like, it's
But,
them.
like,
Like
also,
referring
you're not the
to,
only girl that, like, didn't get time with him, and no one
yeah,
else is
I
crying,
know.
girl.
Yeah,
Like,
for real, for real, for real,
please.
for real.
Please.
And
So
then she did
then,
get a
oh my...
rose, and I don't know, it's so
And
unnecessary.
then freaking... Oh, my God. And then it kept going to freaking Sheehan, whatever the hell her name is, like, at the rose ceremony, saying, like, if I don't get a rose, I'll be so sad, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm sorry, Sheehan, no one knows you. Like, let's
I
get
feel
you off the
like,
camera.
yeah, she hasn't gotten a lot of camera time, and
She's just sliding by,
I don't see her like
going anywhere.
pursuing him that much. If I'm being
Mm-hmm.
honest,
No,
like
yeah, that's why
I
she's
just
literally just sliding by.
she's just enjoying the free drinks.
No, true. I mean, I
Basically.
would too, but shit, like, come on. So then, he's giving out the roses. He's down to the last two. Peter freaks out. He leaves. Chris is like, "You okay, man? Like, what's happening?" Chris.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah,
then he comes back out. Chris comes back out with him, and then takes away a rose. I thought that was really interesting. I didn't understand why they needed to take a rose away.
I did not understand that either because it did not make any sense. Yes. Like, what the hell?
Like, if he didn't want to give a rose to Alea, then just give it to someone else. Give it to freaking poor Sarah, who got
Yeah, no camera time. Did not get to know you.
destroyed at the freaking pillow fight. And then, like, she's so cute. She is going to definitely be on Paradise, but, like, she needed more airtime. That's for sure.
Or could have given it to Alexis or Jasmine or
Oh, yeah. Or any other girl. But, like, why take one away? Like, another opportunity for another girl.
or Lingerie. I don't remember her name.
And I think it's Kiara. And
Kiara.
yeah, so he took a rose away. He gave, oh my God, and the whole time McKenna is freaking out because she hasn't gotten a rose. It's coming down to the last two. She hasn't gotten a rose.
Yeah.
And all of her facial expressions, she's like, her hands over her
She's
mouth. She is like, oh my. Every time
God.
some other girl gets a rose, she's like, oh my God. Like, being so
Literally, her world is ending.
being so
her world
dramatic
is
on
ending.
her face. And, like, if I was Peter, I would literally be like, McKenna, calm down. Like, it's so, he's staring at her, making all these facial,
She's in the front
making
row.
all these facial expressions every time she doesn't get a rose. And every time someone behind her has to get past her to get the rose, she's like, oh my God. Like,
She's
so
like, oh my God. Another
dramatic. And then she gets the final rose after he takes one away.
But during that time, did you notice Alea's faces?
Oh, she was trying so hard not to cry.
You think so?
Yeah, like, you could see, like, the frown in her mouth, and, like, I literally make that same face when I'm trying so hard not to cry, but the frown is still coming down.
Like
she was
not
trying not
after
to
she
cry.
did not receive the rose. Like when
No, yeah,
everyone
during
else.
when she was on the, when she was still on the.
It
for it.
looked like how when you were talking about like how she looked drunk a little because
Oh.
that's what I picked up, and she just kind of looked
I
over it
didn't.
to me.
No, it looked like she was trying to hold back her tears. To me,
I don't know.
it could have been a combination of both, because when I saw one clip of her, she literally, like, was holding back a frown when he took the rose away, and then it showed her. And then it showed McKenna freaking out again. And then so McKenna got the final rose, and she's like, huge sigh of relief. I'm like, oh my god, like I can't with McKenna right now. And she got it. Alea goes home, and then
I was
Peter, you see,
so surprised.
I was surprised too because usually they keep them around for the drama, and she
Usually,
went away.
yes. I was like, okay, McKenna's going home.
Like freaking Luke P. They kept around Luke P. for like far too long.
I still don't understand how, I mean, why they had to take away another rose when obviously Alea comes back. Like, he could have just given um, that rose to Alea.
Because like he could have given it to someone else, but apparently like he just doesn't like any of the girls enough to give them like to keep them around.
Do you think, so obviously he wanted the girls that went home to go home, but do you think they took away the rose because they just didn't want any other girl to go farther ahead and they just end up letting Alea come back?
I don't know because I also feel like maybe he thought like okay, taking away a rose means like he obviously also still had to keep McKenna because he does have a good connection. Like it wasn't like he was eliminating Alea. It was like, well, there's only one rose left, and I have a better connection with McKenna, so like I have to give it to McKenna instead of like saying like there was another rose and I gave it to someone completely that I have no connection with over you and make her feel even worse. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it was just like there's no one else. Like there's only one rose left and I'm going to give it to someone who I have obviously a better connection with and I'm not making it worse on her. Which is how I perceived it.
So, like, to let her down easier?
I guess. Because, I mean, like, she was really, like, attacked at the pool party. Maybe he was just, like, he had no other choice than to give the rose to someone else. There wasn't another option. You know what I mean?
I just can't believe, like, he literally, like, I don't know. Like, I really thought she was going to stay.
Same.
Like, I thought the producers were going to sway him and say,
But,
like, no, you have to keep her.
He was obviously really conflicted, too. Like, he did not know what to do at the last two roses. And I'm surprised that he let all the girls persuade him into thinking that this girl is just bad news. And I feel like you really have a connection with her and you really like her and you're like, oh, but I really like her. Like, what if I make a mistake? Then why not keep her and see for yourself if she really is acting different around you and on camera? Because then, like, the more you get to know her, the more you're going to see how she really acts instead of just sending her home. What is it? Technically week 2 in the house. And, like, you don't know her well enough to take all of the, or any of the other girls well enough to take what they're saying at face value. And so why not keep her longer and see for yourself? Like, why do you have to take these girls' words to be true? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I don't understand. And why he barely went on a one-on-one with Victoria P is taking what she says, like, as facts, ultimate standard, like, that, like, oh, her opinion,
like the last
word.
It
matters so much to me with what she says. Like,
maybe it was because, like, of what she said about her saying to keep hush about knowing each other, and maybe that was just like the last straw. But also, I was just really surprised that like you said, let the girl sway him into making his decision, because he seems really smart and like he'll always listen to his heart, and like he's actually really dedicated to finding his wife. And I don't know, but it just shows that he actually does have that connection with her, because immediately after that is when he said, like, oh no, like, this is a mistake. Like, I do not feel good about what I did. And he's like, I thought after I did this, like, I would realize, like, this is wrong. Like, I don't want her here. But you see him, like, just panicking with Chris and the producers.
And then next week it shows her coming back, and it looks so good. Also next week we have Victoria F getting a one-on-one, and they get a private concert from country singer Chase Rice. And then it turns out that she dated Chase Rice, the country singer, who's singing at their one-on-one. and it is gonna be so freaking good. Like the producers just they just keep impressing me every season, like more and more.
They never stop working.
No, they don't. They say the devil works hard, but Chris Jenner works harder. No, the devil works
No.
hard, but the Bachelor producers work harder. Oh my god, it's like truly like how did they manage to like? Ugh, I just love it. I can't wait to see it. The clip looks so funny because he's like, oh my god, our one-on-one. I'm so excited. We're gonna get a private concert from Chase Rice, and she's like, what? And then they're dancing, and she's just like looking, like while they're dancing, she's turning back, looking at Chase Rice
Yes.
singing, and she's like, "Holy shit!" Like it looks so good. I
I'm
cannot.
also really excited. I'm just excited to see this whole volcano erupt.
Yes, I am so excited. But yeah, that was episode 3 of Benchler. Just in time. This recap is just in time for you guys to watch tonight's episode. And so we got some buzzworthy topics for you guys now.
Okay, yes. So, we actually have some serious news. Like, crazy news. We just found out today, actually. Former Bachelor contestant that was on Hannah Brown's season, Tyler G, actually passed away. Like, I really can't believe that. He was 29 and he wanted to be a psychologist, I think. But according to E, he passed from a medical overdose. So we don't know exactly like what that means, like if it was prescription or what. But he was sent to the hospital for 13 days and then passed there. So yeah, a few other Bachelor contestants that got to know him have said a few things about him, but yeah, it's a very sad sudden death. Like
On Hannah Brown's season, he had a one-on-one and he left abruptly. Like I remember, like from one episode to the next, he was there and gone.
They didn't disclose that. It was just like you had to find out on your own. Like he just like left like mysteriously into
and
thin
everyone
air.
was like, what happened to Tyler G? What happened to Tyler G? Because Tyler C ended up just becoming Tyler, because it was Tyler G and Tyler C, and out of nowhere there was only one Tyler. Yeah, wow, that's super sad. His poor family, lots of prayers for them and everyone that knew him. That makes me super sad. Has Hannah Brown said anything?
No, actually, Hannah Brown has not said anything on this subject. But talking about other terrible news, you want to talk about Halsey?
Halsey. Okay. Full disclosure, I am not a huge fan of Halsey. I'm sorry if you are. I'm sorry if you are, because that's sad for you. She is not a great artist.
I'm not the biggest fan of her either. I just never really picked up like a liking for her for I don't even know what reason. I just would see videos of her on Twitter and didn't like those videos like of her talking
care
of
for
what she was talking about. I just didn't like her demeanor. So don't really like her music either though, but
Same. Yeah, not a fan of her. Not really interested in her. But anyways, so she is getting a lot of backlash on Twitter, on the internet, because Pitchfork, the like music site, music company people, they wrote a review on her new album Manic, and they wrote that they rated it a 6.5, and they talk about how it's like a album of painfully stretched ballads and overly sanitized rhythms, and they were just talking like all sorts of crap about it.
wow,
And then
those are very well articulated criticisms.
well, I mean, their whole thing is just like music critiques.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Halsey went on Twitter and wrote back at them and wrote, can the basement that they run Pitchfork out of just collapse already?
Ooh.
Well, turns out that they, in fact, do not run out of a basement, that they actually work inside the One World Trade Center. You know, like where they built the Trade Center, where the Twin Towers fell. And yeah, now everyone is saying that she just called out for another 9/11 because she's basically saying for the World Trade Center to collapse because that's where Pitchfork works out of. And the trending on Twitter is that Halsey is now apologizing for it, that she didn't know that's where they worked out of. But like, I really don't think it matters where they work. Like, why are you calling for where someone works out entire building to collapse just because you don't like the review they gave you?
I have
Like,
strong opinions about
let me hear
that
them, girl.
statement. So she's an artist, right? And she puts out her music for people to hear. What the hell is their problem if they don't like her music? Like, why is that such a big deal? Isn't that the whole reason she puts out her music, for people to have an opinion about it and to listen to it? Like, as being an artist for however many years she has been, like, how has that not like gone through her head that not everyone has to like
It's gonna like your music.
not everyone has to like what you make. Like, literally, she just can't accept that people are allowed to have opinions on her music. So
Yeah, it's like you either like my music or you're
wrong, or your building
wrong
needs
in
to
where you work.
collapse.
Yeah, like relax. And like honestly, like what's she gonna say about us because we don't like her music? That our buildings need to collapse?
Or
Joke's on you 'cause we don't work out of a building.
or if we don't like her music, that her buildings need to collapse. Like
It's ridiculous. It's dumb. Like if you like honestly, like if you put out a work of art into the world, like expect criticism. Expect not everyone to like it. Like it's not
like
the
that
end
just
of the world. And
comes
you don't need to
with like being
wish
public.
bad things upon people just because you don't like their review. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just
And
so
this
like
is just
immature.
adds to the list of reasons why I just don't like her.
The whole thing is just immature.
So way to
Like,
prove
to
me
even
right,
say that,
Halsey.
about a whole freaking, what are they?
Company.
Like a company that just talks about music and
Yeah.
what they think. Like, it's their opinion. Like, get over it.
That's my opinion. No, but like for real though.
But truly, like, get over it.
For real. So I mean, honestly, that just like went on my list of reasons why I just don't really like her, and
That
like
just, like,
she's just proving my point left and right why she is just not the one.
that
you
just
know?
like literally put me in a bad mood. So
Oh my god. Okay. Well, moving on to well, I mean, not even better news because Vanessa Hudgens did not go on a date with Zac Efron. There is no Zanessa. Zanessa is dead because
no.
Vanessa Hudgens went on a date with Lakers star Kyle Kuzma. That's the wrong basketball player, Vanessa Hudgens. That is not Troy Bolton.
That is not a wildcat.
That is not a Wildcat. It's a damn Laker. She was seen having dinner with Kyle Kuzma.
Kyle who?
Kuzma.
Kuzma? Cusco? That's literally what it sounds like.
Emperor's New Groove. No, okay. But Kyle Kuzma, he's on the Lakers. I want to say he's like 23 or 24. And she's 31. So, get a girl. And, yeah, so a lot of people are like, damn, she's moving on real quick. 9-year relationship. Who? But, apparently Austin Butler has already moved on as well. And he is apparently dating his Elvis co-star, the girl that is playing his wife, Priscilla Presley.
Yes.
Her name is Olivia
Dijon.
Yeah.
Dijon.
And she's the girl from The Society. If you haven't watched
Is that on Hulu
The Society
or Netflix?
on Netflix. If you haven't watched The Society, I recommend it. It's super good. It's only one season. We don't know when season 2 is coming out, but it is fantastic. If you have seen it, she is the girl that is dating the super crazy psycho guy who is like trying to kill everyone. and she tries to poison his pie, but then they end up going to the thing, and then she ends up accidentally poisoning everyone. He's dating that girl, and apparently they've been dating for like months, and I guess like they're not really moving on that fast because I guess they've just been broken up for a while and they barely put out that they just broke up.
I mean, that's my assumption because literally 9 years. I don't know. It's like when you've been dating that long, it's like how do they know it when they're broken up? Because it's like they have to come public by saying a statement, basically. And maybe they just did that later after they are
and
already.
Honestly, they probably like, after they healed already, after they were moving on with their relationships, and like they were just like
they were ready.
The way, we broke up. Yeah. So good on her. She's been posting some premium content on her Instagram, some thirst traps, some cute new pics. Like she's like, I'm out here, I'm living my best life. Like, don't need no man of 9 years. And,
I just wonder why, though. I mean, the only thing I can think
why
of
they broke
is
up?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is they grew apart, and Vanessa was like, I don't have time. Like, I need to already get married. So after 9 years, like, I've had enough.
Yeah. I mean, good on her. You know what you want, know what you're striving for, and
I'm
like,
Team
don't waste
Vanessa.
any more time. I'm Team Vanessa. Don't waste any more time. Like, if he ain't giving you what you want, and you're like, you don't need to wait any longer. Just move on. Someone else is gonna give it to you. You know.
And that's a message to all our benches listening.
All of our benches listening. Okay.
Don't wait for no boy. Okay.
No man. You should wait for no man. There's no man out there worth waiting for. Okay. So good on Vanessa. I'm happy for her. I'm proud of her. Do your thing, girl. I'm really excited to see this Elvis movie too. Like, I want to see like the chemistry between Austin Butler and Olivia. See what all that's about.
So you think they started dating like when they started filming, or in the middle of filming? Because then that puts a timeline onto when they actually broke up.
That's true. I'm not 100% sure.
It just, I don't know. It's a good, I mean,
this is a case for the FBI.
It's a nice theory.
That's us, so we need to look into it.
Yes. Get your gun out.
Oh yeah. So, do you want to talk about this next one, or you want me to talk about it?
Oh, the JC.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about it if you want.
So, also in internet news, the internet is freaking out over this pic that was posted on Twitter of James Corden of The Late Late Show, that he was not driving for carpool karaoke. So we all know carpool karaoke. He gets these awesome celebs in the car with him. They drive around and they just sing all the artists' songs, and it's just like super awesome times. He's had multiple ones with Justin Bieber. He's had Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Adele, which Adele is probably one of my favorite ones.
The
Jonas Brothers, One Direction. Just like so many good people. Billie Eilish.
Who are they? Quavo. Migos, right?
Migos, yes. Oh my god, that one's funny too. I like that one.
Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, so he just had amazing artists in the car with him. They sing along and he asks them questions. It's like an interview in a car and they sing along. It's like the greatest idea anyone's ever had for like to interview artists. And so he drives around, and then it turns out that he actually doesn't drive around, and that his car is on this pulley, and another car in front of him is pulling him all around town. And the internet is freaking out. They say, now this is why I have trust issues. And can't trust no man.
It's like when do the lies stop? When do the lies stop? Literally, yeah. All men do is lie.
So like, everyone is just freaking out over it, and like I'm just waiting for you know how James Corden is. He makes a joke out of everything, and I'm just like waiting for him to make a joke, like to turn his next carpool karaoke to like turn into like a skit where like the pulley breaks down and then they can't move anywhere, because he is so one to do something like that. I just love him so much.
But it's weird because so it's literally a video of him getting pulled in the car, like with like these little like things underneath the wheels to carry it. Mm-hmm. So And I've seen his carpool karaoke, and he literally like turns his wheels.
Yeah.
Like as if he's driving.
But I also want to say that someone else posted a picture of him that they ran into James. So the picture that was posted was James Corden in the car with Justin Bieber. Apparently Justin Bieber's doing another carpool karaoke.
Yeah.
And it's getting
I
pulled.
saw a video though. Was it a video or did you see a picture?
I just saw a pic. And the car is getting pulled. Then I saw another pic of someone's rebuttal to that saying, no, he doesn't always do that because I ran into him doing carpool karaoke with Katy Perry and he was legit driving, and it was a picture of him stopped at a stoplight. There was nothing under the tires, nothing pulling him. So I think maybe they're doing a skit where he has to have his hands off the wheel, or like they're changing mid driving, and so it has to look like he's driving with no hands or something similar where it could be dangerous, so they have to put a thing on it. Because I want to say he doesn't always have something pulling him, because there's been episodes where they pull into, like with Migos, where they pull into the store and they get off the car and they go into they dress James Corden in like some drip and like and like how did they do that? There was like no police. Like that would be such a like so much hard work to like get the pulley off of him. Like I don't know. So, but the whole world's freaking out about it, and we had to give y'all the buzz on it. So, I mean, either way, like it's still like it doesn't take away from the fact that it's still a funny segment. It's still great content, and I love it, and I'm gonna keep watching it whether he's getting pulled by someone else or he's driving the car. And honestly, if he is faking the driving part, he does a great job. He's a great actor. Because honestly, I believe it.
Yeah, it looks real. That's why I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, and like he does his turning signals. Like he's really committing to it.
Yeah, he looks in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I really want to see this Justin Bieber one, just because like also is he singing that dumb song "Yummy"? Because like I don't need a carpool karaoke for that.
So yeah, can we know now?
So I can know not to
watch it or not.
Oh, poor Justin. Dude, did you see that he got a food truck, a Yummy food truck?
Oh my god! Did we ever talk about this?
Did not.
Did we ever talk about this?
We did not. His desperation. I don't know if we did. I can't remember. But his desperation for this song, "Yummy." It's not a good song. Let's just move on.
I just don't like when artists do that.
We talked about this with our dad, but we did not talk about this on the podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, to all our listeners, like, I just don't like when artists do that. Like, Selena Gomez also was kind of doing that. But yeah, like, Justin posted on his Instagram saying, like, follow these steps to help make Yummy #1. And it was, like, stream Yummy on repeat. No, it was, like, make a playlist with Yummy as the only song and put Yummy on repeat and play it at a low volume while you sleep. And I was like, what?
That is so
chill
crazy.
out. Like,
no,
like I said, going back to Halsey, like, if people don't like your music, then they don't like your music. You can't
like it.
You can't like just fish out your streams to get #1.
Yes, and honestly, that's so annoying because like that just like makes like everyone else who's gotten to #1 on their own merit of it being a good song, just like take away from like that it's a good song, because then now everyone's just gonna be like, oh, go stream my song, so it could be #1, and now it means nothing if you get #1
because he has like a huge following and a huge platform. So him posting those things like actually would make a difference, especially to the young
demographic,
the young children that follow him, and that will literally like. That he has a big influence on them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it honestly just like takes away from all the other artists who
get
there on their own because it's an actual good song. And Selena Gomez is doing the same damn thing. She's out here buying every CD so her album can get to #1. And like she's like, am I desperate? Like, yes, you are desperate, because like it's not a good album. Like if it was a good album, it would have got to #1 on its own. And like, I'm sorry, like your music's just not good either. I just don't like Selena Gomez either. And like, she's like, oh my god, but this album means so much to me. It's my most precious album, and I would just love for it to get to number one. Well, then you should have made it better. You should have made better songs.
Like, if
You should have learned how to
straight
sing,
up,
because then maybe it would have
straight
gotten
up.
to number one.
And just because an album means so much to you, like, you don't think every other album that every other artist makes means so much to them?
Mm-hmm. Preach. No, but like seriously, ugh, the desperation just reeks, and it
We
smells
are real
gross.
benches out here just roasting these
I know,
people.
but I mean,
it
and
had
it's
to be
so
said,
funny that it's
and-
Justin and Selena. Like, I wonder. No wonder they dated and they got along so well. They're both desperate. That was rude. Whatever. I don't care.
We already said that this. We already said.
We already said a
disclaimer.
disclaimer that
We're
our
good.
opinions. That's all we have for you guys. Thank you for all the love, all the feedback. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, like, tell us how we're doing. Tell us if you hate us. Tell us if you think we're all right. But yeah, let us know how we're doing. So all of our social media and our email is bingebuzz. Our email is bingebuzz@gmail.com. Twitter, Insta, YouTube,
Mhm.
I guess, right? It's all at bingebuzz.
Yes.
So
So
just hit
like,
us up.
subscribe, do all the things. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, all the above, all the places to find the podcast. Listen to them. Love them. Love you guys. And we'll see y'all later. Bye.